Today, we're going to get into the truth about braids and why they are not really protective and could be blocking your hair growth cycle. Because the truth of the matter is, your braids do not induce hair growth. And through this video that this viewer made me very aware of, we are going to unpack all of these things because so many of us think that the longer that you go with braids in your hair, the longer you go without touching your hair, the longer you go without shampooing because dirt makes your hair grow. It's crazy. Our ancestors were not walking around dirty, not washing their hair for months at a time. And the amount of shedded hair that you guys think that you're getting is actual triple the amount. That's why the person who kept those braids in for 7 months saw absolutely no hair growth at the end. So today we're going to unpack
I
all of
am
this as
back.
well as
What it do, baby?
giving you all of the inside scoop, but make sure you go back and read that fair use disclaimer and get your panties out of your butt because you guys always want to fight every time I point out things like this. But put your big girl panties on because we're going to have a real conversation. Now, most of the time when we see protective styles and when we see all of the things on social media, as a black woman, you believe that the only way that you can protect your hair is to wear braids. But are your braids really protecting your hair or are they causing more harm than good? We see it all the time. Clients thinking that braids automatically equal growth. And while braids can be helpful, most people don't realize that the improper care while wearing them can completely throw off your scalp health and your hair growth cycle. Case in point, this woman here on the screen whose follicles are literally holding on for dear life. But let's break it down. What's really going on under your braids and how can you make sure that your protective style is actually protecting you? So what does your hair actually need protection from, right? Because when you look at videos like this, of course her hair is beautiful and long, but guess what, you guys, everyone can have beautiful long hair, and the amount of shedding that you guys think is normal is actually triple the normal amount. We're gonna hop into what your hair actually needs and what protection actually is, and when we break down the science of that, braids being protective styles is not going to be an argument anymore. But as you can see, it took this woman 6 days to detangle braids that had been in her head for 7 months. I understand that life can be life in it and it's a lot of stuff to do, but I'm sorry, there's no reason for any grown woman to keep braids in her head for 7 months. Yes, our ancestors braided their hair, but they were not nasty and trifling. I need y'all to actually sit down and do y'all research and give our ancestors the respect that they deserve so you can see their maintenance practices and their routines. Because going through ancient herbalism, our ancestors were not just walking around not shampooing their hair, not touching their hair for a year at a time. That was not the thing. That's not how they were retaining their length, you guys. So in my opinion, her video proves this because she went through all of the things, right? Just to see at the very end of the 7 months, her hair was exactly the same length as it was when she put these braids in. Now, I know that we are under the impression that like dirty hair equals long hair, and it's not true. We are also under the impression that having braids in your hair is actually protecting your hair, but is it really? And is it really something that you should do? Something that's going to take you 12 days. It took her 12 days to take these braids out of her hair. Is that something that you think your body needs? Is that something that you think your scalp needs? Is this something that you think is smart for you to do? And these are the things that I want y'all to think about, because for you to do this, you have to put all of these products and all of these things on the hair. And what you guys think is shedding is actually breakage. Because none of the products that she's putting on the hair should be going on the hair. So it's breaking down the hydrogen bond, and hair that would have just shed out, that had already fell out, is now being combined with hairs that were not yet ready to fall out. So what you guys see as shedded hair over 7 months is double the amount. That's double the amount that she should actually have. It may not look like it, but that ball she has in her hand, I can split that into two, and it matches what 7 months of hair actually looks like. And it is not that. I love y'all so much, but it's not. My picture is enlarged, hers is not. And this is how her hair looked. This is how much growth she had after 7 months. And the problem is, you guys come on YouTube and you see long hair and you think that that's healthy hair. Over my 10 decades, over my decade in the hair industry, over a decade in the hair industry, the amount of clients that I had with hair that looked like that, and then we straightened it out and it was completely see-through, we had to cut it all off, is like, I can't even count. I'm out of fingers and toes to count. So we need to talk about protection, because when I did my last video on protective styles, you guys were like, oh, I missed it. Where were the protective styles? And I actually, if you rewatch that video when we talked about roller sets and all of the sizes of perm rods, flexi rods, and all of the things, I actually gave you over 20. Right? And we're going to break that down in a second. I actually gave you over 20, but because none of the things that I recommended included braiding, then we saw that it's something that shouldn't happen. Now, even though that ball of hair in my hand with her hair looked huge, it was a bunch of air pockets in it. The other two balls of hair that you guys just saw were compacted together. Shedding is normal, but this is after 3 months of a sew-in, which is a month longer than my recommendation. So what does your hair actually need protection from? When we talk about protective styles, we need to ask, what are we protecting the hair from? So here is what your hair truly needs protection from. Number one is heat damage. Number one, again, heat damage. It comes from irons, blow dryers, and even hot water if used improperly. Over time, heat breaks down protein bonds in your hair, causing dryness and breakage if done wrong. That's why there are some people who are licensed to do certain things, and there are people who aren't. And the people who are licensed know how to use these tools properly. Some of the people who are licensed really suck. And there are people, everyday women like you, who know how to use it with no problem, but you have to practice. Number two is UV damage. Yes, your hair can get sunburned too. It is a thing. And this is something a lot of you don't realize. You are automatically like, oh my God, I got heat damage from the blow dryer. After one time, whole time, your heat damage came from the sun. And I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it's over 100 degrees here, and there would be women that came in, I had never touched their hair before, and they're like, oh my God, this looks like heat damage. Why are my curls falling? I don't understand. I haven't put heat in my hair in years. Well, you have heat damage from the sun. And in a minute, I'm going to tell you there's one product that can stop all of these things, right? Number three is going to be, well, no, we're still talking about UV damage, because your hair, again, can get sunburned because UV exposes your facial color, it dries out your strands, and it can damage your scalp. So all of those things are really important, and there are steps that professional cosmetologists follow to make sure these things don't happen. There's literally one product. Number three is going to be moisture loss and dehydration. You are protecting your hair against that. Hair needs a balance of moisture and protein. Without hydration, hair becomes brittle, leading to breakage and split ends. In a video listed in the description box below, I gave you the difference between moisture and hydration and how to get it. So check that video out. The next thing, right, that you have to protect your hair from, or the thing that your hair needs, is product buildup. Because oils, butters, and sprays and leave-ins, the wrong type of leave-ins, especially when layered without cleansing the hair properly, like the women who don't wash their hair, for months at a time. Yeah, but I digress. This can clog your scalp's pores, block follicles, and suffocate the hair growth system. So your hair is growing way slower than everybody else's. There is a reason why black women's hair grows way slower than everybody else, because no matter how many scientific facts are presented to black women, they argue with you about facts, right? Because when it comes to shedding, right, the amount of hair that I had in my hand, again, it looks like the same amount of hair as the last one, but it was not, because her hair is stretched in that ball, and if you were to rewind it and zoom in, you can see so many air pockets, meaning you can see light through it. It's not a compacted ball, it's not wet, it's not curled, the hair is not swollen. So those are all things that you need to take into consideration. But you do have quite a bit of shedding after 3 months, right? But your hair is properly protected before the sewing is put in, if it's done the right way. Next up is going to be environmental toxins and microbiome imbalance on the scalp. Pollution from outside, right? Sweat and poor hygiene can throw off your scalp's natural microflora, leading to inflammation and yeast overgrowth. More on that in a minute. We're going to go into that in a second, right? So, what are your braids actually protecting you from? Like the protective styles that you guys are swearing by, because again, anytime I come on my channel and I say, this video, I'm telling you braids are not really protective styles, you're going to argue with me. Don't argue. Let's have a conversation, because the thing is, most people want to meet me with emotions instead of facts. I can't do nothing with your emotions. Your emotions can't pay no bills. It gets no work done. Absolutely nothing. So let's talk about it, right? What are braids actually protecting your hair from? Nothing. Braids actually only protect your hair from one thing: mechanical damage. That is it, and that is all. Because when you're constantly styling, brushing, I just smacked her in the face. Smack me. She loves me. I love her. When you're constantly styling and brushing and flat ironing, or too much manipulating to your hair, it leads to stress, breakage, and thinning. Braids give your strands a break from the daily wear and tear. That is it, and that is all. They do not protect your hair from UV radiation. Braids do not protect your hair from heat. You can still give yourself heat damage with your hair and braids. You put a flat iron on those braids, you're still going to get heat damage. The sun shines on your hair while it's in braids, you can still get UV radiation and heat damage from the sun, even with your hair in braids. Dryness and buildup, you can still get dryness and buildup when your hair is in braids. Just because your hair is in braids does not mean that it's gonna stop your hair from getting buildup. That's not a thing. So it doesn't protect it. And the braids definitely do not prevent your hair from getting breakage or thinning, because actually the weight and the tension over time are actually the thing that leads to most black women having traction, alopecia, and all of the things. All you really need is your leave-in conditioner to protect your hair. Your leave-in conditioner is heat protectant, like that one that just popped up on the screen. If you go on Kimbra's website and you look at the ingredients and all of the things inside of their leave-in conditioner, the leave-in conditioner has heat protection up to 450 degrees, and it also has UV radiation protection. It says it on the bottle, and it has for over a decade, because I've been using Kimbra for a very long time, right? So those are the things that I really want you to think about, because braids can lead to way more scalp issues and hair loss than any of the other styles that we're talking about can in real life. Right now, the cut that she's about to get is from braids and like wash and goes and all of the things that you guys think are protected. So with us having these conversations, I need you to answer this question for me. With me listing all the things that your hair actually needs, and with me just laying out the fact that you and your hair in braids can't do any of those things, You don't have to argue with me about it. I want you to tell me if you disagree. I love my braids. What are braids protecting your hair from? Please tell me. Other than you, other than you, what are the braids protecting your hair from? Because at this point, the only thing that braids protect your hair from is mechanical damage. If your hair is braided up, you can't be flat twisting and washing and going and causing mechanical damage and breaking your hair. You can't touch it. It's braided up. That's the only way braids are protective styles. They're not protective styles. What I told you your hair needs, you can get from the right leave-in conditioner. The UV protection, the heat protection, the moisture retention, the hydration, all of the things. You get hydration from the water that you drink and from the environment. But the leave-in conditioner that I put on your hair acts as a moisturizer that's light enough to still allow the cuticles open and close to receive or release moisture or other toxins, release moisture to gain hydration from the environment. It's a fact. Everything that I say, I can put in perspective and I can make it make sense. I need you to make it make sense to me in the comments, because right now your emotions are fighting against me. You want to argue with me. No, I love braids and my braids grew. That's nice. It doesn't matter. They're still not a protective style. And if you disagree with me, you let me know based on all of the things that the human hair shaft needs, other than protection from your mechanical damage. Other than protection from you, what do braids protect your hair from? I'll wait. And the majority of people are not going to be able to answer the question. So if you cannot answer the question, then this is no longer put in the avenue of a protective style. If these styles are so protective and they're so good for you, the majority of black women walk around with braids. So if braids were the thing, then all black women would have hair today, but you don't. It's the actual opposite. Black women that wear braids 24/7 are losing their edges, their hair is thinning, and all of the things. I need you to make it make sense. You don't have to argue with me. You don't have to like me. You don't have to dislike me. Make it make sense. These are common sense conversations. We are not talking about, oh, I went to Harvard. No. There are multiple hair shaft disorders. Look at all of these hair shaft disorders on the screen. I need you to explain to me how you braiding your hair protects you from any of those. These are things that you have to think about, because if we are constantly demonizing the things that, in my opinion, are protective, then everybody's constantly going around the same circle over and over again. But see, over the last decade, they have demonized flat irons and blow dryers so much to the point that black women, you all literally cannot hear. Don't get upset. You literally cannot hear. The last video that I did, that's titled 10 hairstyles, I gave you over 10. I gave you multiple versions of different perm rod sets and roller sets. It was like three, I want to say maybe like six different different formers, like flexi rods, perm rods, all of the things, sponge rollers, all of the things. And they all have different size variations. So if you multiply 6 times, let's say all of them have at least 6 different sizes. So multiply 6 times 6, that's how many options that I gave y'all. But then the comments were like, I'm missing the 10 hairstyles because you guys think that twisties, ponytails, braids, updos, bantu knots are protective styles, and they are not. And you want to know more proof? All of the women who used to make those videos, they're no longer making them. And right before they stopped making them, they told you that they didn't want to make them no more because it was no longer fun. But in reality, the majority of them, their practices were building up different forms of yeast and bacteria within the scalp, and you guys were following them. And that's why black women right now, today in 2025, are leading in scalp inflammation, balding, CCCA, folliculitis, and all of these different scalp disorders, because you've been following people who don't know what they're doing. So you go on YouTube, all you see is protective styles, your twist styles and your what you call those crochet braids and all of the things. Like y'all know what y'all do. All of these different things that y'all call protective styles, y'all are doing, but all they do is incur tension on the hair shaft. That's literally all they do. So then after you take those styles out, then you're going and looking for product after product after product after product. Not to mention, when you got the protective style, they packed your hair full of oils and butters and things of that nature. So that list of things that I gave you that your hair needs protection from are all of the things that y'all actually do just to put your protective styles in. So your hair actually needs protection from your protective styles. Most black women are thinning and going bald from braids. I still need you to tell me. We don't have to argue about it, baby. I need you to tell me, other than your hair being protected from you while it's in braids, this is whether you're adding hair or not. Whether your hair being protected from you, what are braids doing to protect your hair? Like I said on my channel, I'm not saying never in life get braids. I told y'all that when my clients would get braids, it would be okay. Let's say they're going to Jamaica for the weekend. They want to protect their hair from themselves because they're going to be in Jamaica. The humidity is going to be crazy. They don't want to be combing and breaking and brushing through their hair. They're protecting their hair from themselves. But braids themselves actually do absolutely nothing for your hair. But when we're talking about protection on what the hair actually needs, right? My client, when she got her hair shampooed and conditioned, all the moisture that y'all looking for, you want to know where it lives? It lives in the conditioner. But most of these YouTubers told y'all to stop using it. So y'all stop using conditioner. Now your hair feels dry. So now you walking around looking for a moisturizer. Oh my God, do you know if you just use the damn conditioner that comes with the shampoo, you won't need a moisturizer? And then when you go and get a leave-in conditioner, rewind the part that I just had on screen. When this is over, rewind it and look at the ingredients. Look at what the bottle says. It says that it has UV radiation protection. It protects from heat. Literally all of the things that I listed that I told you your hair actually needs protection from, the leave-in conditioner does. The leave-in conditioner does, if you use the right one and you use it properly. But braids literally only protect yourself from it only protects you from mechanical damage. It does none of the other things. None of them. Make it make sense. So when I was sitting behind the chair, right, this is a client that like I had stopped doing hair or whatever, and this was a pop-up that I was doing for Share. And whenever I did her hair, she had a bunch of breakage and things of that nature from her braids. But prior to that, look at her hair. That's not from wash and goes and from twist outs. It's from getting her hair blown out and silk pressed every 2 weeks. And as you can see, when she wet her hair, she had no breakage. There was no heat damage, none of the things. You know why? Because her hair is properly protected. You guys want to swap out everything. So instead of leave-in conditioners, they told you, oh, use oil. Your oil isn't going to protect you from UV radiation. It's not going to protect you from all of the things that we talked about. And when you add heat to oil, what's going to happen? What happens if you take the same almond oil, the same exact almond oil that you put in your hair, put it in a skillet and heat it up? And then you tell me what's going to happen. It's two different things. But then if you take that heat protectant spray and you spray it in the pan, it's going to disappear. It's going to evaporate. I'm telling you what I know. Go do it right now. Go get your go heat up your pan. Go heat up a pan. Put some oil in it. Watch the oil sit there and just sizzle and boil. And then take the heat protectant and spray it 2 times in there and watch it evaporate and disappear. I'm telling you what I know. Ooh, my bad. I'm telling you what I know. And if you think that what I know is wrong, baby, go test it out. I just told you something to do. It makes no sense. So The reason that black women are constantly going around in the same circle, because you guys keep following the same things blindly without doing any scientific research for yourself. All of these things are very, very easy to look up. They're very, very easy to comprehend. It's very, very easy to understand if you lose your offense. But you're so offended by anything that anybody says. If another black woman says your braids are not the best thing to do for you, and just spraying your hair with products and walking outside, that's not enough. Your body needs more. You deserve more. They're the problem. And it's not true. I'm sorry. Because my clients had beautiful, thick, long, luscious hair. And yes, they wore their hair straight most of the time, but when they didn't wear it straight, they did flexi rods, perm rods, roller sets, so many curl formers. There's so many different options, and I've given them to you guys. And if you want a detailed breakdown of them, make sure you check the link in the description box below, because I have a free blog post for you. It is free 99. Literally click the link, read it, and it breaks everything down to you, because actually I've given you over 20 in this video. Over 20. So check the link and we'll break it all down. We'll break it down even further. But your braids, your twists, your bantu knots, those are not protective styles. If you don't agree with me,
Okay, let me. Your hair. Oh, right now you can see.
She's silky.
Oh, she's silky. Oh, I just smacked her in the face.
Smack me.
So pretty.
Thank
I missed
you.
your hair so pretty.
My hair missed you. I missed you.
I'm so sorry that I left.
then at that point it's time for you to really start going and unpacking things for yourself, because I've been doing this for a very long time, and it's very unfortunate now in 2025 to see so many women in the place that I tried to keep you guys from being in. But at the end of the day, you have to live and you have to learn. So again, let me know what you think about this video in the comments below. Let's talk, because in part 2 we are going to talk about where wash and goes came from originally, because the wash and go that you guys now know is actually the Jheri curl in 2025. And you think I'm being mean, but I have proof. And in the next video, I'm going to break down how all of your wash and goes, all you guys are doing is a modern day Jheri curl. And Jheri curl went out the same exact way that the Team Natural community is going out. So I can't wait to have that conversation. I'll see you later. Bye.